Arnold Q1.
Governor, you previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but it only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it.
Ah! What in the name? No!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. If you're like me, you lost a few IQ points last night watching Tim Walz bumble his way through what was very clearly, even with the deck stacked completely in his favor with two insufferable moderators who at first promised to not involve themselves, but did so on the very first question and then multiple times through the debate before Vance put the smackdown on him and they got right back in line. It was wild. Tim Walz dropped several more whoppers, admitted to lying to the American people, and in the snap reaction, the snap polls, obviously J.D. Vance won the debate significantly, and in the betting markets, which usually reacts emotionally the first, Trump closed the lead. You know, Tim Walz cost Kamala Harris 2 points last night in the debate, at least in the betting markets. So again, those are just directional. They don't mean anything more than actually voting. But let's start with some of Tim's most embarrassing whoppers that hurt Kamala last night. This is where things get fun, by the way. My company, Coffee Brand Coffee, you haven't heard a lot about it lately because summer's kind of a slow season for us. Well, it's fall flavor time now, and we brought back our wildly popular spiked jack-o'-lantern, as well as a brand new flavor that it took me almost 3 months to get right. Apple strudel. It's technically apple cinnamon strudel, but it is super good. A little bit of creamer, a little bit of natural sweetener in there, and you can really taste the apple and cinnamon. And the spiked jack-o'-lantern is one of our top sellers. It's only available in fall. Promo code DEBATE to order now. They start shipping on the 8th. Check out these new bags I worked so hard on. Well, really, my graphic designer worked hard on. We've come a long way from a boring old white bag with a sticker on it, huh? And that's thanks to all of your support. So promo code DEBATE, save today, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can pick yours up today. Tampon Tim claimed that he was in Hong Kong in May of 1989 during the Tiananmen Square incident. Local news reporters at the time showed he was actually in Nebraska. Literally nothing. Everything Tampon Tim says is a lie. So here's the original whopper.
As a young man, I was just going going to teach high school in Fosan in Guangdong, and was in Hong Kong in May of 89. And as the events were unfolding, several of us went in, and I still remember the train station in Hong Kong. It was a large number, especially European, I think, very angry that we would still go after what had happened. But it was my belief at that time that the diplomacy was going to happen on many levels, certainly people to people, and the opportunity to be in a Chinese high school at that critical time seemed to me to be really important. And it was a very interesting summer, to say the least, because if you recall, as we moved in that summer and further on, and the news blackouts and things that went on, you certainly can't black out news from people if they want to get it. And I can still clearly remember the fall when the Berlin Wall fell.
This now is a complete fabrication. He wasn't there. Okay, here he is pictured in Nebraska during that period when he said he was in Tiananmen Square. Okay, now how does he explain that lie? You're never going to believe it. The TLDR of it is that he claims he misspoke. Misspeaking means like, I'm like saying, hey, Coffee Brand Coffee is buy free, get one buy, or something like that. It's like mixing up a word or two. It's not fabricating an entire story. And this is what he said last night.
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year.
Oops.
Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural.
I lied. He literally is reverting to, I grew up in a small town, so I lied?
Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service. I joined the National Guard at 17.
worked on family farms, and then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher, passionate about it, a young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. We would take basketball teams, we would take baseball teams, we would take dancers, and we would go back and forth to China. The issue for that was to try and learn. Now, look, my community knows who I am.
He lied. It's been a full minute of him filibustering because he's stuck with 2 minutes of airtime to fill, where he literally just has to admit he lied. By the way, the debate moderators were some of the most, my 1 o'clock video is going to tear into these two broads. They're two of the most like vile, partisan. I mean, they're actually worse than what ABC was, if you can believe it. If you can believe it. They are worse than what ABC was. And I just don't know what to say. You know, I don't know any other way to put it. So you have the situation where he continues.
They saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect. And I'm a knucklehead at times, but it's
a liar. When he says knucklehead, he means liar.
Always been about that. Those same people elected me to Congress for 12 years.
What?
And
so
in
you're calling
Congress,
other people
I was one of
stupid?
the most bipartisan people, working on things like farm bills that we got done, working on veterans benefits. And then the people of Minnesota were able to elect me to governor twice. So look, my commitment has been from the beginning to make sure that I'm there for the people, to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything. Many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric.
I lie. Just say I lied. You lied.
But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID. And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
Just, all I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said.
Awkward.
So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot.
What is he's literally short-circuiting? You lied. You did not misspeak. Again, misspeaking is saying it's free one, buy one free or something like that. Buy one free, get one free. Something like that. That's misspeaking.
Of what needed to be in governance.
Like, what? Also this one.
So I've become friends with school shooters.
What? Now, maybe he meant their families. It's possible. But, I mean, what? That's going to be the moment of the debate, too. Trump immediately pounced on it, memeing it. It's going to be they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Everyone's going to remember that and that aspect of the debate. He also told what many people are now picking at, saying is a potential another whopper. Governor Tim Walz just said his 17-year-old son witnessed something horrible while playing volleyball. Can we get a fact check on that? He said that his son saw one of these events happen, when this, school incidents. Did Tim just say, it will become, shots fired and not this and that, and they will add in the vicinity. There is no evidence. Answer. There is no widely reported or confirmed proof of a direct evidence presented in the public domain up until October 1st, 2024 that specifically details Tim Walz's son, Gus Walz, witnessing an incident while playing volleyball. The incident Tim Walz mentioned during the vice presidential debate was conveyed as a personal anecdote without immediately accompanying evidence like video footage or police reports linking directly linking Gus to the event in question. There is no evidence of what Tim said that his son saw this incident, and I'm willing to bet that will come out as yet another lie. Now, how is this affecting Kamala Harris? Well,
but while Joe Biden won this state in 2020,
so you're voting for Donald Trump?
There are warning lights for Kamala Harris.
I feel like he aligns more with America and American values than...
Yes, he does. ABC News, Trump-Harris moderator says Walz reminded her of the Biden flop. Remember, the Biden flop was so bad that he had to leave the race. Tim Walz completely melted down. Now, if we look at the betting market, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are now in a virtual tie. Yesterday, Kamala Harris led by as much as 1.5 to almost 2 points, the way the site does rounding. Right now, there's only 0.2 of a point between them. And hilariously, both candidates are under 50%. So it shows still a lot of uncertainty. But J.D. Vance absolutely helped Donald Trump last night. And Tim Walz made Kamala Harris look like an idiot. We all know that she should have taken Josh Shapiro to try and secure Pennsylvania, but he's Jewish, and she knew that her base would not allow a Jew to win vice presidents because there's a large swath of the hard left, the far left, that are anti-Semitic. Tim Walz is rocked by cool Vance, admits, I'm a knucklehead during genial VP debate. J.D. Vance only boosted Donald Trump Republicans, while bug-eyed Tim Walz hampered Kamala Harris's chances at the VP debate. This is the narrative today. During the vice presidential debate, Senator J.D. Vance claimed Vice President Harris became appointed border czar. CBS confirmed rates as this is false, which is incorrect. It's absolutely 100% true. And the mainstream media machine that's been propping her up is completely melting down. This post, by the way, has 2.5 thousand replies to just 600 likes. Everyone's saying Harris, CBS News themselves published Harris to lead administration's efforts to stem migration at border. I mean, the mainstream media literally cannot save her for how bad this was. Here's Donald Trump literally posting Trump Vance 24. We're not friends with school psychos. Nervous as heck. Tim Walz jittery debate performance gets him called out on social media. Walz nervous, unsteady. JD absolute perfect first answer. Kara Mead said, I'm getting secondhand anxiety from Walz. Topsoil erosion. What the heck? Weatherproofing? I've never seen a national candidate look as nervous as Tim Walz when he's not speaking. Walz is very clearly nervous and having a hard time remembering his prepared remarks. People were saying he was having panic attacks. Will Chamberlain, Tim Walz is nervous. Tim Walz is incredibly nervous. Walz looks nervous, and J.D. Vance is bringing a very confident energy to the debate so far. I mean, look, it's okay to be nervous in most things, but not as the vice president, who's a heartbeat away from the leader of this country. Absolute disaster for Kamala Harris. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, fall flavors are now up for pre-order sale right now. Spiked Jack-o'-lantern, which is a fan favorite, 194 reviews with a 4.8 out of 5 rating. And we even boosted the flavor in it this year. And brand new apple cinnamon strudel. Promo code DEBATE. Get your order in now. I know it's available in whole bean or ground. I think you're absolutely going to love it. And we'll talk to you again real soon.